Hi there, and welcome to another fabulous episode of Famous Interviews with Famous People. I am your wonderful host, Devin Shotsky, and today we have a very special guest. A living legend, a man truer than his word. We have Frankenberry. Welcome, Frankenberry.
It's a pleasure to be here, Devin. It's great to be back on the interview circuit.
That leads to our first question. Where have you been?
Well, Devin, after my acquittal, I went into a monastery and trained to become a missionary. Although I had some unforeseen problems, I was forced to leave after only 5 years and went back to my old job as a serial mascot.
You were on trial? For what?
Well, back in 1992, there were some allegations against me of distributing child pornography, indecent exposure, statutory rape. It was a very hard time in my life, Devin. Those charges were trumped up by overzealous district attorneys for crimes I never committed.
Really? It says here they found over 800 pictures of naked children on your computer.
I was simply doing research, Devin, to learn how to better market myself to children. You see, my cereal has always been a children's cereal, so I was trying to learn what was popular with the kids so I could better market myself to them.
So you're trying to market yourself to naked children?
Now, Devin, the children were never naked. Well, not all of them at least. Some were dressed like bunnies or in Halloween costumes. I was just researching what children like to do so that I could sell them my product.
So what did you find out about the children?
They really enjoy orgies, you know, good old-fashioned Greek orgies. They like to be in big piles, just having sex with each other all day long. At least that's what they did in most of the videos.
Uh-huh. You know, I was a child in the early 90s, and I don't remember any orgies.
Well, Devin, you must not have been one of the popular children, because all of the popular children really enjoyed orgies. I can picture them now, all oiled up and rolling around grabbing each other, pushing and groaning and moaning. It was such a wonderful thing to watch, Devin.
Yeah, I think you were looking at child porn.
As I said before, I was merely looking to see what children enjoyed doing during the 90s, so that I could better market myself to them. They just so happened to like orgies, so that's what I learned about.
Now, what about the other two charges?
Well, Devin, they were all trumped up. The indecent exposure was really an accident. I just so happened to have a zipper malfunction in front of a 9-year-old girl. It was a malfunction of the pants. It was not my fault at all.
And then she just so happened to fall on your zipper malfunction.
No, Devin, that's just silly. Absolutely silly. You see, she thought my penis was a popsicle, due to the fact that it's long and pink, and continued to suck on it for almost 90 minutes.
So you did have sex with her?
No, it was just a misunderstanding, that's all. She misunderstood something and did something completely innocent. It was all completely innocent, nothing major happened, just a few mistakes.
And for some strange reason you didn't go to jail?
No, my lawyer calmly explained about the misunderstanding that the oral sex was not sex, similar to the defense Clinton would later use, and about my zipper malfunction. the research I was doing at the time, and the jury understood and found me not guilty.
It sounds like you did it to me.
I did nothing of the sort. The jury found me not guilty. Now, if I had done it, I would have hid the child porn better, calling it something like Michael Jackson's Hits, or maybe naming it after some video game like Super Mario World, The Lost Levels.
No, they're called Madonna's Greatest Hits and Super Mario Brothers: The Other Lost Levels.
See, if I did it, I would have never named it anything like that. And if I were to have seduced a little girl or a little boy, I would have simply taken them to the back of a car show, in the bathroom near the grandstand, and did it in a stall.
Now, it says here that you found them at a county fair and did it in a horse's stall.
See, that proves right there I didn't do it. Not to mention the fact that the jury found me not guilty. See, if I did it, they would have found me guilty, wouldn't have they? But since I didn't do it, it didn't happen that way. I said it would if I did it, they never would have found out.
Now, you're Frankenberry. Are you related to Frankenstein?
Very good question. Actually, Frankenstein is my retarded cousin. He's from my mother's side, and we're actually nice to him and invite him to the family reunions. He's just a little slow.
Yeah, he's a big star, and you're a serial mascot.
Well, Devin, he became a star quite by accident. You have a book written about you, and you star in a couple of hit Hollywood movies, and you're a star nowadays. It seems wonders never cease.
Now, what about Frankenberry's stool?
Ah, yes, Frankenberry stool. Well, my stool is kind of hard, but my bowels are older and not quite what they used to be. It also stinks very badly when I do it.
That's not what I was talking about. Not at all. I was talking about when you eat Frankenberry and your poop turns pink.
Ah, yes, well, that was because of a chemical in the cereal to make it pink. That it didn't break down in the human body and made a real stink, if you don't mind my pun. It was quickly changed.
That would be odd looking down and your poop's pink.
It was kind of odd for a lot of people seeing that. A lot of doctors were called in. I bet some of those kids even showed it off to the other kids. Then they pulled their heads into the toilet and made them eat the stool.
Yeah, you're really kind of sick in the head, aren't you?
According to my psychiatrist, I'm healed, and the best mentally that I've been in really quite a long time. It's great knowing that all my problems are behind me now, and my life can move on.
Yeah, I think you should keep seeing him.
Well, I'm fine. He even said I was the best patient he'd ever had, and that I was all cured of my mental woes. It's really great when you get a clean bill of mental health.
Now, earlier you said you're in a monastery.
After the trial, I entered the priesthood. At least I tried to. I lived in a monastery for about 10 years. It was a hard life, working hard every day, but quite rewarding. I even helped the village kids with things.
You were helping kids? That's just wrong. On many, many, many levels.
It wasn't wrong. I helped them all the time, carrying buckets of picked corn or whatever they were picking at the time. I gave them toys I had made, read from the Bible. You know, Devin, I really love children.
So why did you leave the monastery?
This one kid said that I touched him inappropriately several times. It really wasn't a big deal, but I didn't want to cause the monastery any more problems. I mean, I never touched him like that. If I would have touched him like that, it would have been in the woods far away from everyone.
So you were kicked out of the priesthood for touching children?
They could never prove that I had touched him, of course. He claimed it happened in the woods by the river. The little bastard. I never did, though, but I decided to leave and come back as a mascot again.
Yeah, you're really kind of creepy, you know that?
No, I'm just a lovable old man now, Devin. I bet you are a cute kid. Do you have a son or maybe a nephew? I bet he'd love a free box of Frankenberry cereal, and maybe to talk to Frankenberry himself.
Get out of my studio!
Oh, okay, but if you ever want to show your son or nephew something cool, you should bring him by my house. I've got all of the Frankenberry he could eat.
Well, this has been Famous Interviews with Famous People. See you next time.